I never believed in the whole reptilian thing. But the thing that turned my head to think about the possibility of it is if Brian Ardis's theories are correct, and he has massive evidence for this. We may have just turned 6 billion people into human reptilian hybrids. I mean, if that is snake mRNA in the shots, and I mentioned that to Brian, and he said, yeah, that's horrific. I mean, I've had some really good interviews with him.
Right. And again,
now, I mean, let me just finish the point. Let's go back to Lemuria and Atlantis. Maybe we did those things back then. I know we did. In my teachings, it said that we created the animals. I'm not talking about insects and whatnot, but the mammals, we created the animals. So back in the days of Lemuria, man, we had Mengele type characters back then.
Right.
And you got to consider that the science was a lot more advanced than it is now. And it's pretty horrific now, but they had even more advancement. So, they were doing this cloning stuff. They were doing this hybrid stuff, which they're doing in secret laboratories now. I mean, what they were doing in those Ukrainian bio labs was a nightmare. I've done videos on that before we started this. Back over a year and a half ago, I was talking about these biolabs where they were doing Mengele type stuff.
Absolutely.
Times 10 because of the genetic modification. And they were doing this on Georgian and Ukrainians, and they were releasing bioweapons on the populace to see how well it worked. I mean, these are maniacs, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, look.
And that's why Putin had to go in. I mean, all this, that's a whole other can of worms we could talk about. But Putin really had to do what he did. He's not the bad guy in this situation. I'm not saying he's a saint.
Right.
But he had to do this. And the people in Donbass jumped for joy when the Russians came in because they were being murdered.
Right.
And this is all because of Obama-Biden regime back in 2014 that ignored the Minsk agreements, that they toppled that
Victoria Nuland, fuck the EU.
Oh, these people they make psychopaths look like saints. That's what people have to understand. This is our enemy. These are people that make psychopaths look like they make psychopaths look like Gandhi, for God's sake.
Yeah.
These people are as wicked as you can ever imagine. And these are the people behind this so-called pandemic. These are the people behind these COVID shots. Holy shit. These are the people behind the climate change hoax. These are the people behind the stolen election of 2020. They needed this prop in there to do what they're doing now. I mean, human trafficking and drug trafficking is back in business since Biden's been in. That prop in a fucking mask is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the real Joe Biden is either dead or a complete fucking invalid that doesn't know what planet he's on.